Hi, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. All right, everybody. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Hello, boys and girls. And good to have you all here as I queue up my next event. That's what we do. All right, just bear with me. All right, good to have you all here. And let me see, there it is. Okay, there, get some video there. It is Sunday night, January the 7th, first session of the year here. And I get to have you all here, folks. All right, let's take a look and see where my PowerPoint is. I sense that there's some audio coming from somewhere, not really sure where. Anyway, folks, good evening, everybody. I see a lot of people still joining us here. Come on in. Give another minute or so to get in here. Meanwhile, I'll tell you a little housekeeping tips, tricks, whatever. So this is going to be an interactive session. All right, so please feel free to use the questions box for any questions or comments you might have. You'll find that little questions box icon on your Zoom dashboard, so click on that. I am the only one that can see that, so go ahead and say whatever you want. Normally, we'll also have Aaron on, but he's got the night off here tonight, so we're giving him the night off, so not a problem. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about a weekend review, and what I'm going to do here is anybody who is new on, please tell me in the questions box that you are new. So we're going to split this up into two sections. All right, two sections. Number one, we're going to talk about the weekend review and what's coming up next week, and some other stuff. Take your questions and comments and different things. And then on the second half, all right, so the second half, we're going to give you a bit of a primer on options and SPY, why us, day trade SPY, and for those people who are new, who've never traded SPY options before. So I think it's going to be pretty exciting. All right, I see the questions already coming in here. Douglas, are you serving wine and cheese tonight? Yes, I have some specialty wine. This is my wine. It's just some kind of energy drink or something. Mm. My wife picked it up and she said, "Take this. You'll need it tonight." I said, "Why?" Well, if I give you chamomile tea or something, you'll probably fall asleep. So, and I see Doug would like some turkey, extra mayo too. No problem, my friend. Hello from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Mount Dora, Florida. People chiming in from all over the place. I love it. Paul L. New, good to have you here. New, Craig New, Doug New. Hello, first time. Sergio R, good to have you here and brand new. Where's my beautiful dog? Let me tell you. There she is. Lovely Lucy. Lovely Lucy. Yes, we have ourselves a very beautiful dog there, and I gotta tell you, um, she's uh, she's really cute. She's in her 12th year, and these Bernese Mountain Dogs they're supposed to live on until about 8 years of age, but we've got an extra few years. She's getting a little sore in the back yet. But she needs help with the stairs and stuff. But anyway, folks, listen in the questions box. I would like you to punch up any of your trading New Year's resolutions. And if we get any interesting New Year's resolutions, we'll certainly discuss those and maybe pass them on so that maybe you get some ideas for anybody else that would have any New Year's resolutions that might be of value. So we'd like to share those with everybody. All right. And so you'll find that in the questions box. Just punch up any New Year's resolutions you have concerning trading. Well, if you want to quit smoking, lose weight, that's just kind of come and go, right? By the way, how many of you how many of you see that New Year's resolution e-letter that we wrote? I think it was last week that was published about New Year's resolutions that they don't really work. I think my record for that is like a week or something. Anyway, all right. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Next thing we're going to do is I want to just give a little question here. How familiar are you with options? I know there are a lot of new people online who have never traded options before. A lot of people don't even know what they are. Okay, and I think if you don't know what they are, it's probably a good place to start here. All right, Gregory in New York. Welcome, Marianne, Pensacola. Just to be clear, both calls and puts are open to. Oh, yes, you open to buy. You buy them to open and sell them to close. That is correct. We do not do spreads. We do not do naked positions. None of that wonderful stuff. Seal Beach, California, good to have you here. Pittsburgh, Paul, good to see you here. Mark from Michigan. Joe, make money, Moni, yes. Pay some hefty bills before I take the top 3% challenge. Okay. All right. Resolution from 2024, no gambling allowed. Okay. All right, here come the numbers. 3 and 4, fairly knowledgeable. Okay. Bruce, oh my gosh, back from septuagenarian surfing in Hawaii. Does that mean like what is this like you're in your 70s? You're surfing in your 70s in Hawaii with your daughter? Cool. Great trip. Glad to be back with you, Hugh. Hi to all in the trading room, Bruce. A lot of threes. Okay, not too many ones or twos here. We'll see if any ones or twos. Okay, pretty good. So maybe we can skip that last part. I don't know. Here's a resolution. I repurposed the challenge spreadsheet to record account gains of $200 or more per day now through April the 1st. Currently down a bit, but Friday hit 200 plus. Thank you. Please help me do this every day. All right, Marianne, we just skim small percentage consistently. Genius. A lot of threes, fours. Okay, so not too many new people here today. Okay, we'll see how it goes. And if we get a lot of new people, and we'll stick around. If not, then we will move on. All right, so yeah, we're talking about my dog. So a little snow in the background here, in the back, up in the Western New York area, Buffalo, Niagara Falls area. Don't hold that against me, please. Everybody's got to be somewhere, right? But anyway, it's not bad. You get used to it. And last year we had a horrible, horrible Christmas with not this last year, but the year before, I guess, 2022. As many of you may have known, I think it was like 47 people died in the blizzard. But anyway, so I let my dog out in the back all the time, and I keep telling her, Lucy, do not eat the yellow snow. Do not eat the yellow snow, or worse. And she's been pretty good at it. So these are the things that you have to think about with your dogs. My dog's pretty cute, and she's very, very good looking, but she's not very smart. Maybe she is in her own way, but sometimes she just doesn't get it. So I've got a little contest going for you folks. So the first 5 people who are going to find the yellow snow, all right, on this PowerPoint presentation down the road here, not this one, but down the road, just let me know that you found the yellow snow, and you are going to get my ebook, Triumphs and Tragedies. Now, admittedly, this ebook I think is probably about a year or two since it was updated, but it's still very good. These are true stories of people who had passed through my portal here, my Day Trade Spy, our Day Trade Spy, website, and have been engaged with us in some capacity over the last 13, 14 years. And some of these stories are unbelievable, but they're all true. All true. The names have been changed to protect the guilty. So that's what we do. So look for that yellow snow and then let me know. And if you are the first 5 people, you will get a free ebook. All right. Triumphs and Tragedies. Let's move on here. Got to give this disclaimer, keeps the lawyers busy, keeps them happy. So by attending this webinar, you fully understand and accept the financial risks involved in trading securities. The risk of loss can be substantial. You should carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your personal investment objectives and financial resources. By accessing this webinar, you understand that you're not receiving any advice as to what or when to buy or sell, but are simply receiving information for educational purposes only. Any decisions concerning your trade are solely your own to meet your personal objectives and risk tolerances. You alone are responsible for all your own trading, and past performance does not guarantee future results. Charts are courtesy of TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim and Tasty Trade in case we have any. So now that you understand that, you're here, you know the rules. All right, going to introduce ourselves a little bit here. My name is Hugh Grossman, and I am the presenter here this evening, as I tend to be most Sunday nights. So a little bit about my background here, for those of you who don't know me, came from corporate America, internal audit at an insurance company, handed off a lot of my money to my financial advisor to invest in my future. He blew up half my account. I contacted him to say, all right, just cut me a check for whatever's left. Obviously, I have to figure this out myself. I knew a little bit about risk and I worked with money, so not money, but numbers and stuff. So I was pretty good at it, I thought, and I set out to learn as much as I can. And eventually I did figure out a few things that worked well for me. Now, I'm not saying this is the one and only strategy and that's the one and only thing. All right. There are many, many, many strategies when it comes to options. and the whole stock market, as a matter of fact. But I did learn a few things that are pretty cool, and I call it, from the trenches training. All right, this is the real deal. Because when you learn something, the hard way, school of hard knocks, you tend to absorb it a lot better, a lot easier. You see, in school, you're given the lessons and then you're given a test, right? But in real life, you're given the test first and then the lessons. So I'm not going to kid you. Over the years, yes, I blew up my account a number of times, but I still kept coming back. I must have been a sucker for punishment or something, but I knew there was money in this business, folks. I knew it. I never doubted that because I would always look at these two columns, the highs and the lows, at the end of the day on the option chains. And if you ever have any doubts about can you make money, look at the highs and the lows, and you'll see, look at this, and you'll look at these numbers. So sometime today, this particular option hit a low of 5 cents and a high of $1. And by the way, these are very normal numbers. This happens all the time. Look at it. This option hit a low of 10 cents and a hit high of $2.25. And you're thinking to yourself, wait a second, I'm not trying to make 10 times my money or 20 times my money or anything like that, but can I not walk away with 5% or 6% or even 10%? Is that not possible? Well, the answer is actually emphatically yes, it is possible. Not only is it possible, but it's not that difficult to do if you understand what to do, right? So there's a few things you have to learn, obviously, strategy, but I think more importantly, the more I think about it, the more you have to learn about yourself. I know it sounds kind of goofy and it's like one of those, but it's true because successful trading on the options market is between the ears. It's a mind game. All right, it's a mind game. Um, yeah, that's the word I was looking for, Pollyanna, I think. I'm not trying to sound like that, but I'm saying that when you understand the emotions of trading and you can actually look at a trade and a setup and you've got everything kind of positioned, then you walk in with confidence and you can withstand that short-term um, economic storm, if you will, when it happens to you, because markets don't go in straight lines. They zigzag up, they zigzag down. Sometimes they go down before they go up before they go down. They go all over the place. So it takes a lot of emotional control to be successful in the market. And until you actually achieve that level, you're gonna have some real challenges. So anyway, that's what I did. I learned a few things. I've got some pretty cool little strategies here, mostly these little short-term breakout trades, because you don't need much of a move in the stock, the underlying stock, to make some serious money on the option. And that's what I like to do. Now that's my story. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it, right? The next guy here is Aaron Stevens. So what happened was this, excuse me, it was in 2010 when I actually started posting on the internet as to what I'm looking to trade. I was coerced by my friends, family, neighbors, and whatnot. And then they started saying, well, show us how to trade. So we developed some training programs and whatnot. And then it was I guess it was mid 2022. We were approached with a deal from Eagle Financial Publications, a deal that we couldn't refuse, as they say, and they bought us out. But they kept me on, and in my group, my little group, we're still on. But here's the other thing: what they did. These guys are smart. They brought in Aaron Stevens. Aaron Stevens, this guy mastered deep dive technical analysis back in his teens, when all the other kids were playing sports and all his friends were chasing girls and stuff. He was in the library looking at the Wall Street Journal and figuring out charts. Self-described nerd, great guy, funny guy. And he's actually pretty awesome. But we scooped him from a $150 million commodity fund. And that's pretty cool. That takes a lot. Okay, so we got this guy, and he identified and still continues with us, identifies excellent long-term, high probability trades. So Aaron comes with his set of indicators, and I have my set of indicators, okay, completely independent of each other. And this is the cool thing about it. We're very independent of each other. So when, let's say, I say that, well, my indicators are suggesting that there's going to be a move to the upside, and his indicators are suggesting there's going to be a move to the upside, chances are the market's going to go up. And you might be wise to trade to the upside because you're probably going to make money. And that's why we say that when our indicators unite, our trades ignite. Okay. So I think that's kind of important. It's kind of cool. Anyway, Aaron's on. He's off tonight. I believe he's on. No, wait a second. Hang on a second. Aaron, are you there? Hello, Aaron. I think he's on actually. Hello, Aaron. Maybe we can get him on here. I don't know. Maybe he's in listening mode or, but I see he's on as a panelist. So I don't know if he's just maybe stepped away, but yeah, Aaron, I'm sure will chime in when he's back. So maybe stepped out to get a drink or something. But great guy. He knows his stuff, and he has come up with some incredible predictions. That I even shake my head sometimes. Said, "Now, how did you know that?" So. Anyhow, to be discussed tonight, ladies and gentlemen, what happened recently on the stock market? All right, what's going to be coming up in the week ahead here, the few days ahead. Talk a little bit about our 2 to 10K challenge. Not much to say there. I'm going to give you an update on that, and let's talk about your challenges, which I anticipate you will have punched up in the questions box. And of course, we're going to answer your questions and gonna give you the options primer for anybody who is actually new online and wants to stick around, find out about what are options, what are they all about anyway? What are they all about? Like, why should I look at options? Why can't I just trade the equities, I mean, that's where I started. I think a lot of people start with equities. And a lot of people start with penny stocks. Tell me in the chat box if you started with penny stocks. And let me know how that worked out for you. Okay, curious.
I
Meanwhile,
started with penny stocks.
you started with Penny. It sounds a lot like Aaron. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening. Yeah, I had to pop my head in and see the large crowd of people that have joined us this evening. So I just had to come by and see the wonderful PowerPoints and the huge amount of people that have decided to be with us tonight, and we very much appreciate that.
Well, listen, folks, I got to tell you something. I think the word is out. Aaron and I are going to be at the Money Show in February in Las Vegas. Come on out and say hi. And Aaron is going to be presenting on stage. I believe it's two shows, and it's going to be pretty exciting, a lot of fun. And come on down and maybe heckle him or something. We're gonna have fun.
Yeah, I'll give a performance of a lifetime, and it's gonna be so awesome that they're gonna ask me back for more. I'm gonna have to turn them down as well as I can only sign autographs for 15 minutes, then I'll
Okay.
have to go back to my room.
Oh, that'll be fun. Looking forward to it. And let me tell you, Las Vegas in February is not a bad place to be. So we're looking forward to that. All
Yes,
right, that's what we're doing. Good to have you along, Aaron. Good to have you. Hope you're enjoying the weekend. So,
yes,
and
thank you.
all right, let's take a look and see what happened here last week on the stock market. This is the hourly chart with TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim, or is it Schwab Thinkorswim? I don't even know who owns this anymore or whatever. But anyways, Thinkorswim, and this is the chart, and this is the week in review. Here's what happened. I'm gonna go over this real quick because frankly, it's not where we've been that's as important as where we are going, and that's really kind of what we're looking at. But obviously, the stock market was closed on New Year's Monday, but on Tuesday it was a rather quiet day. No news day. Traders took profits, dropping it by about 5 points before the end of the day, starting from the pretty well the pre-market on Wednesday. A little more of the same. Market continued to shed its recent gains off a major resistance level, bouncing at that FOMC meeting minute report, which came out around 2 o'clock. Aaron, if I recall, days before you had predicted this to happen. You had predicted this to happen, and I shook my head thinking, you sure? You sure? But boy, sure
Oh
enough.
yeah, oh yeah, the drop, the drop there off of the initial slide, that was the Andrews pitchfork pattern that we had identified live in the trading room, and we talked about the price, how far price could go, and You talked about the retracement off of the highs on the daily chart from the near the 478 levels. We've really been our minds have been in sync and in tune with each other, and have really been predicting this retracement, and it's been great for those that have been in the trading room and taken some of the put trades that we've called out, as well as some of the call trades that we mentioned. Basically prices popping up every single morning and then dropping towards late morning, early afternoon. That's what it's done, except on Friday there. But yeah, so correct,
Yeah,
spot on.
it's cool. I know some people chimed in and said, "Oh, you know what? I took a chance on what Aaron said because he's been so accurate, and they made some pretty decent money." So that was pretty well much of the week actually that we were coming down and came right down to your levels here. I think you mentioned 465 or 466. I can't remember now which, somewhere down there. And I shook, I scratched my head, but you're spot on, spot on. Non-farm employment report, positive. Unemployment claims brought SPY back down at close at 460. That was on Thursday, and on Friday, we had some earnings reports, employment numbers boosted the stocks, but the PMI report that came in, Institute for Supply Management Services PMI came in lower than forecast. And I think we're now seeing a situation where good news on the economy is good news on the market, and bad news on the economy is bad news on the stock market. Sort of a flip as to what it was up until recently, until the Feds had sort of settled in and say, okay, we're not going to raise rates the next little while. In fact, we're looking at lowering them. So, so here's a seasonal chart. That red line at the bottom is where SPY closed on the daily chart. The average of the last 5 years, daily chart. Okay, that blue little thingy there up at the top left, that's where SPY is now. As you can see, it's only 4 days, so we don't have a whole lot of a line up there. But let's expand on this and go down to where this is. So, looking at historically, but well, historically we dropped about a point from a week ago, but seasonally, SPY rose about 3 points coming up in the week ahead. We'll see if that's going to happen again. Seasonal charts are kind of nice, but there's no guarantee that's going to happen again. But it's just kind of nice to know where that's going. And one thing we don't want to do is swim against the stream here. So if we can roll with the punches on the seasonal chart, makes things a little bit easier. Coming up Monday, tomorrow, low, no news day. Same with Tuesday. It's going to be a really sort of a slow start to the week. Wednesday, not a real big thing. We've got some crude oil inventories, but Thursday, we have an inflation indicator here. Consumer price index reports and unemployment claims are coming up. And also on Friday, a producer price index, some reports are coming out there as well. Those are going to be pretty volatile days. Now we're going to see where that takes us. I'm hoping that the Feds aren't going to be watching that carefully, and if they see a spike in that, they might just reconsider their position. I'm hoping that's not going to happen. So, week ahead, what I would say here is volatility may be low most of the week, picking up Thursday and Friday. May want to trade some, looking for modest gains, expectations early in the week, and then maybe up that on Wednesday afternoon into the end of the week. You'll probably see greater gains potential later in the week as the news comes out. But I think Monday and Tuesday, you might even want to be satisfied with just maybe 5 or 6% instead of 7 or 8 or 10%. And if you're scalping, maybe even 5 or 6 cents instead of 10 cents. I mean, I think it's going to be there. You can probably go in and out just like we, sort of always do. But it's going to be, I think it's going to be fairly maybe range-bound trading here on Monday and Tuesday and even Wednesday. But of course, we're going to get some verification here with Aaron's long-range forecast on all that in the trading room. So that's kind of where you want to be on that. Question here about how to identify the yellow. What should I do when I see the yellow snow? Don't raise your hand. All you have to do is punch up in the chat box, all right, in the questions box that say, I see the yellow snow. That's all I have to do. Say, I see the yellow snow, or just, something about yellow snow. I see
Oh my
your,
God.
yeah. Some people are confused about those instructions. I think.
Yeah. All I know is when life gives you lemons, you have to make lemonade. That's all I know.
Well, my dog goes outside. She has me well trained, which is great because this way she doesn't go in the house. She goes outside. She loves to roll in the snow and she likes to eat the snow. And so I keep telling her, Lucy, do
Oh
not
my
eat the
God.
yellow snow. And I
Oh
think
my
she
gosh.
understands. She looks back at me and she gives me that look like, Dad, I'm 12 years old. I know what to do, what not to do, and they have that look
Which is
about you.
like 90 in dog years, right? I mean,
Oh,
for her
something.
for her age,
Well,
he's
what
up
is it?
there. But
7 years, 7 years a dog or something? Is it
maybe she's teaching you lessons.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot from her. Let me tell you, I swear there's like a really good understanding between my dog and me. And I swear if she could just talk, and you can see they have thoughts. They have because their eyes move and they have emotions. I'm going to give an example. I know it's got nothing to do with stock trading, but you know what? Sunday nights are not just about stock trading. There's kind of Sunday nights are sessions where we I'm just gonna move on to the next thing here so you can see me here. Sunday nights are sessions where we kind of sit around the fireside and chat about life, chat about different things. So anybody who's just sitting there, you got to teach me about stock trading. That's why we're here. Just relax, pal. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see anybody saying that yet, but I'm sure somebody will. But anyway, what was I going to say here? With Lucy, I was just going to say something. How she has this. You can see her thinking. Isn't that something? The thought just slipped by me now. I'm sure it'll come to me. But oh, I know what I was going to tell you. Yes, yes, yes. Years ago, I was going somewhere, and I guess I was in a hurry. We are going to go away for a week or something, and I forgot to say goodbye to the dog, Lucy. And when we came back, you wouldn't believe it, Aaron. You wouldn't believe how she snubbed us. She snubbed us purposely. She would look back at me like this, and who are you? And it was so noticeable. And everybody in the family was like, "Oh my God, are you in her bad books?" And I think for probably around 3 or 4 days, she wouldn't even talk to us. Like she wouldn't have nothing to do with us. So now
Oh wow.
Oh yeah. So now, of course, whenever somebody in the family goes away, or for some extended period, we always have to make sure we go and say goodbye to Lucy and explain to her that we'll be back and don't worry and oh, they have feelings. Don't kid yourself. They have feelings, all right, and thoughts and everything else. So I study the dog a lot, as you can tell. She's anyway. All right, folks. So let me tell you, we have many opportunities all day, and we show you how to spot them and how to trade them. We show you how to spot them and how to trade them. So I am going to just okay. Uh, okay. All right, I'm gonna go. There's a lot of comments here. I'm just writing down some stuff here. You know what? I'm gonna do all the writing later. Okay. Okay. Marianne, thank you very. You know what? I love some of the comments here. Marianne, she says, "Well, your strategy is quite awesome. I've never been so successful in trading until I started trading with you, Hugh." I believe Marianne is in our trading room, and that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I think we're gonna have to go through some of these comments later on anyway, and just kind of answer them individually if we can, or maybe you can go through some of these comments later on when we get into the Q&A session here. Because there's a lot of stuff coming up at us here. Of course, we have a lot of clients,
Oh yeah.
a lot of people online here. So wow.
I don't know if you want to mention what Phil's comment. Phil's a real trooper, and he's been with us for quite some time. If you guys can think of Phil in your thoughts and prayers, he's had some issues with his heart, and he's been in and out of the hospital. And Phil is a great guy and a really good customer of us, loyal customer. So you can keep him in your thoughts and prayers.
Oh yeah, I'm reading that right now. All right. Okay, yeah. Get better soon, Phil. We need you. We need you, Phil. You're not going anywhere, Bill. All right. Okay, we're gonna get to this stuff here. So, and cool. All right. Let's move on here. So, okay, so we're gonna talk a little bit about the 2 to 10K challenge. There's not a lot to update to give you on this. What we did was this: we just finished, or just before Christmas, the second version of this. We took 2,000, turned it into $10,000 in less than 3 months by about 2 days, and I had to laugh, Aaron. I had to laugh. Uh, I gotta tell you. I guess I found out that there was they didn't tell me. Maybe you knew about it, but I didn't know about it. Apparently, there's an internal memo that said, "Oh, I don't know if he was going to make it. We better should we extend the time or whatever?" And I think somebody said, "No, no, just let's see what happens." And we're underwater there for a few days, several days, and the last couple of days we pulled it out of the water, got back on track. So version 2, we had 64 trades. 6 days of no trading, and we have 5 days of losses. And we ended up coming out and we hit our target at the end of the day, 2 days in advance of our target, which was December the 25th. So probably should have been the 24th. I think we hit it on the 22nd or something. So it worked out again. So we turned 2,000 into $10,000. And by the way, that is using a cash account. So that would have been like using a cash account. So designed for the newbie, the novice trader, the inexperienced trader. If you follow along with us, you should be able to do it. Now, I got to tell you something, all right? And I don't want you to tell anybody this, but this is kind of like a pre-announcement announcement. And I don't even know, Aaron, if I should tell them this, but version 3 is to start in late January, I believe on the 29th. And just keep an eye on your email for details on that. One thing, if you want to roll with this on us with this, you want to roll with it, you got to be in the trading room, and that's where we do it actually in the trading room. Okay, so we only trade what's in our available account balance, right? We don't trade more. We don't go into margin. We don't go and do goofy stuff. We buy time. We buy, we give you the rules at the time, right? We'll give you the rules all at the time. So, but just watch for that. You'll want to get in on that. Um, Probably as early as possible. So, all right. So right now, let's get into some questions. Let's get into some questions. Aaron, do you want to take the questions here and let's see what we have here? Because I think you can see the questions, right?
Sure, yeah. There's a couple questions here. Let me see here. Um,
Oh my gosh, there's a
well,
lot.
there was a couple of comments of why we don't put on a trade for if we see a longer term trend. Sometimes we do talk about that. Sometimes we do. If we see a real obvious trend up or down or retracement that we think could be coming, we do mention that to subscribers that if they want to buy a out of the money longer term option, we do mention that a lot. Um,
Yeah, so our
uh,
objective is short-term trading. We want to get in and get out. You see, personally, I'm just not that smart. Aaron's smarter than I am. No question about
I'm not,
it.
don't say that.
He's smarter than I, but to be clear, ladies, I'm much better looking. All right, so let's get that out of the way. I'm much better looking. So pick your poison on that one. But so I don't know about you, Aaron, but I have no clue where the stock market is going to be a year from now, or even a month from now, or even a week from now. But we have a pretty good idea where it's going today, and that's what we look at. So if we can make a little bit of money every day, that adds up to a nice bag of cash. And but Aaron does have longer term projections with those unique indicators that you use, Aaron. So and I think, Aaron, you're going to take some proprietary because the way you combine these special indicators, what we need to do there, Aaron, is create an Aaron indicator, right? And
Ah, yes.
for sure, for sure. So you have to be part of this group to get the Aaron indicator. That's the for sure.
It's going to get even better on some of the other stuff that we're working on, as well as the planetary alignments, which I'm not even going to get into, but that's probably going to be more proprietary.
Proprietary line. Okay. By the way, when is the Super Bowl this year? I got to find out when the Super Bowl is because there's some people actually trade off who wins the Super Bowl, and we'll probably talk about that at some point down the road. But all right, some question. What's the largest number of contracts you've ever gone into a trade with? Marianne, I don't know. It was a lot. Years ago, I used to trade over $100,000 in certain trades, in some trades. in and out, and looking for 1 or 2 cents, 3 cents. And I don't do that anymore. That was years ago, but that was just way too risky. I didn't need to risk that much. So right now, these days, actually, I don't really trade a lot these days because my doctor says that I'm, high blood pressure and stuff. He kind of wanted me to promise that I'm gonna, pull back on trading. So I don't think I even did much this last week. Maybe 1 or 2 little ones or something. But so, I mean, I might just toy with 20 contracts now, but no big deal. Nothing really. So, all right, another question here. Okay. Okay. Elias, I hope I pronounced that right. He's asking this question. Please explain the rule of three. Not sure what this is. Why do we wait until we lose 65% before we analyze how to salvage a losing trade? If we accept 65% loss, we would give the profit made in the last 11 trades. Okay, so I think he's referring to the pick of the day. So so here's what happens. Aaron and I, we discuss the pick of the day in pre-market. What time we start that? I think about 8:30, 9 o'clock, something like that. We get together and we assess. So we use our magic. We look at our crystal balls, we look at fundamentals, we look at technicals, we dig deep. And when we actually publish a pick of the day, that is actually a high probability trade. That's a high probability trade. And it is designed that if you need to hold overnight, it's okay. The idea is not to hold overnight. We want to get in, make our money, and we generally do in a very short period of time after the market opens. So there are some rules with it. You're going to get the trade. First thing you're going to do is wait a few seconds until the bid-ask spread tighten up nice and tight. Especially important if there's a big gap from the day before. You have a big gap from the day before, you'll often get some really wide bid-ask spread. So you want to make sure that falls into within a 2 or 3 cent spread. Then you look to see, let's say it's a call. The pick is a call. Well, if the stock is going against you on the 1 minute chart, wait until it turns around and you see the pressure back to the upside with a green candle on the 1 minute chart. You don't have to wait until it closes. Don't wait till all these things close or you'll never trade. So when you see the pressure back to the upside, hit your buy button right then and there. And you're going to come in with a limit order, not a market order. Okay, use limit orders, both buy and sell. Immediately after you get it, put it up for sale with a 6% good till canceled order and sit back, let the market work its magic. Did I cover all that okay, Aaron? I think so, right? I think you covered that. So
Yeah, and one thing also that I've had several meetings with customers that are using the pick of the day as well as the signal, which are two separate services, but they can go hand in hand. You can be a subscriber to both of those. But the thing to really think about is that the pick of the day is kind of a snapshot of what we think that the market is going to do right at the open.
yeah,
So, it may go a lot higher or lower. If we're in calls or puts, it may go a lot higher or lower, towards late morning. But there's a couple of questions here about not being able to handle a 65% loss. And there's some subscribers that utilize the pick of the day a little bit differently according to their own trading plan. Some people trade the pick of the day with a zero day to expiration. Some people use the stop loss. Some people, it really just depends. But if you follow the basic rules and keep it simple, you'll be able to make profits consistently with it.
yeah. I know this last week too, talking to some people, it's almost like they're reading into it too much and they're trying to, manipulate it in a certain way. And so getting back to the question about the 65% loss, that's an interpretive kind of a thing. Well, it's kind of whatever you're comfortable with. So if it falls down around 50, 60%, then I look at it and I say, okay, what happened? What happened? So I asked myself, I reassessed the situation. Okay, why did I go down? Was it a news item? And if I have lots of time, I will just let it wash out. The market's in a negative mood right now. It'll be fine. One thing I learned over the many years is that the market has a very short-term memory for news and a very long-term memory for support and resistance. So it's kind of like your kids, when they're young, they have a temper tantrum and oh my gosh, the sky's falling and they're screaming and yelling. And so you just let them go through their stupid little temper tantrum and just let them release this energy, right? As long as they don't hurt themselves or anybody or break, things and stuff. Once they get over that, they start, getting their brains back and they settle down. And that's kind of the way I see the market. So sometimes the market's going to get angry and it's going to turn on you and stuff. And yes, you might be down a lot. So those picks we give you, those are actually, they are high probability trades and they're designed to look at a longer term macro level. So the market might actually go against you before they materialize into your profit. And that's not unusual. You have to let the option breathe, right? Like fine wine, you open it up. I guess you're supposed to let it breathe and don't drink it right away or something. Let it whatever. So that's kind of the way I see it. So it's a longer term kind of a thing. When I say longer term, I'm not saying right away at market open it's going to give you the profit. Many cases it does, all right? In fact, probably most cases it will give you the profit very early on. And when I look at my sheets. I write everything on paper. I always, I don't know if you can see this stuff, probably can't, but I take notes every day. I use a sheet of paper that I write notes on and I write all the trades that we had done. As an example, on Friday, we got into the 466 calls and we bought those at 9:30 for $4.40. Immediately put it up for sale for 6% profit, which is 467. And I just want to confirm that. Yes, 467, 466.4 to be to be accurate, but 467, that was the sell price. And we sold it at 936. So that was a 6-minute trade for 6% profit on the pick of the day. So I don't know where else you can get 1% per minute. But if you find it, let me know. So that was a success. That was a success. Other times you may have to wait a little bit, before you get your prop, but usually it happens pretty quick. So, and that's how we do it. And then, okay, so getting back to that question. Well, so when it drops down that low, I look at it and see, well, why did it go down? And if it's a news thing that I think is going to wash out, maybe another news item is going to come back and replace it or whatever, it'll be fine. If it finds some support, it goes back up, it'll be fine. Looking at chart patterns, if it looks like it's going to be fine, do I have time, right? Do I have time? It'll be fine. And then I sit back and wait. So let me ask you the question on that. Who asked that question? Was it Ali? No, that was Elias. Have you ever traded an option and it hits your stop loss and you're so mad you sell it? Now you're happy because you sold it. You only cut your loss by 20%. And then you continue watching that option as if it's still yours. And then 10 minutes later, it would have delivered a profit had you only stayed with it. Now you're mad again and you actually got burned twice on that option. The first time when you lost money and the second time when it would have given you the profit had you just stayed the course. And that's kind of what we're looking at on that. So that's where and Phil says practice patience. That's where patience thing comes in.
Yeah.
So
And
and
there's a couple of comments here talking about how the Thursday's trade went against us and then came into profit after.
yeah,
So the trend was down, and I like to say that the elves in the background work on the pick of the day. But the trend was down and the direction was down, and so I would say when Hugh and I talk about the pick of the day and talk with the elves in the background and setting it up, we tend to go with the direction of the larger trend, and try to capture those gains when we work with that. So it may go against you sometimes in the morning, but then it can go in your favor afterwards, and that's the reason why we have such a high hit rate with that. So.
yeah. All right, some more questions. I'm trying to get through some of these things here. Okay, with options, but don't understand it well enough to explain it to my son. Rodney, if you want to bring your son along, let us explain it to him. We'll be happy to teach him. Question from Jerry. Have you taught your dog how to trade yet? Um, yes, I have. She gives me love and affection, and I give her some treats. Um, Last night, unbelievable. I actually cooked a steak for her. Can you believe it, Aaron? I'm totally nuts. Anyway, I had two steaks in the fridge. I cooked one for myself. I knew she was gonna want one, so I cooked the other one for her, and she's all happy.
Oh,
All right.
wow.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
she's lived so long, because
Oh,
she's
for
living for
sure.
the steaks.
For sure. We cook for her just about every night we cook for her. She doesn't eat dog food. She looks at me like, what are you giving me this crap for? I said, Lucy, it's expensive dog food. Come on. Give me your favorite. I don't like this crap. Give me some of your food. It's good enough for you. Should be good enough for me. I see it. All right, Greg H. I'm new here. Thank you for joining us. Welcome. I'm not sure if I'm in the correct service. I signed up for the trade of the day. However, I really wanted an early morning spy trade. Pick of the day would be great for that. Maybe the trading room. Trading room is where you want to be. Trading room is a live streaming, real market environment, live, everything. It's happening. That's where it all comes together. All of those things that we talk about. You want to know if you're qualified for the trading room? If you understand what puts and calls are, that's all you have to do. If you understand what puts and calls are, you're welcome in the trading room. If you're going to be in the trading room and you're going to ask us, well, what are calls? Then I'll say to you, okay, we should take this conversation off to the side. We'll talk later about that. That, you're not quite there yet. But I think if you understand what calls and puts are, come on in because that's really where we teach this stuff. Learn and earn, make money. This is not a watch you and Aaron trade show. It is a show, a presentation where you come in and you have questions. You can interact with us just like you can right here on the Q&A box there. Privacy is assured. We
And if I can mention something to you real quick, is that the value that you get in part of the trading room when you come on board is, you know, I think, I don't know if you talked about it, Hugh, this week, but I identified some market symmetry of 2.6 points. And, there was a few times where price would pop up, hit that, 2.5 to 2 3/4 points and then drop. There was a couple times like that during the week. And so being in the trading room and getting the value of two, I don't know if you mentioned it earlier that we have over 40 years experience, market participation experience. We see these patterns every single day and we call them out live. We also give you the trade levels for the rest of the day. That we can expect price to go up to, or if it's going down, where we can predict where market's going to go for the rest of the day. So if you do decide to trade a little bit more through the rest of the morning or even early afternoon, if that's your style, you can take that and you use that advice and use that education for your benefit.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. So, I can't guarantee you're going to learn anything because that depends on you. But I can guarantee that Aaron and I give you a lot of great knowledge. Like you said, 40 plus years of market participation. And Aaron and I, we had our ups and downs through this whole thing, but everything we've learned, we pass on to you. I don't know about you, Aaron, but I sure wish I had a Hugh and Aaron to teach me back in the days when I was learning this stuff. I can tell you I would have saved myself a lot of aggravation, a lot of money, a lot of time. Who knows where I'd be now? That's great information.
Exactly.
Marianne, I'm happy with 4%. Still can make $500 a day, less than 15 minutes after the opening bell. Totally yes. Okay, Diane. Okay, got your name. All right, along with the challenge trade, why doesn't Aaron put on a low cost long-term trade every 30 days? Why don't you put on a low cost long-term trade? We were talking about that, weren't we, Aaron? I think at one time, something
Yes.
that, yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that, something like a swing trade that we could put on, but with the theta loss, it's a little bit difficult. But I do think that we are going to start to do something like that on a longer term basis, because this isn't the first time. People request that a lot, actually.
Yeah. So we may get into that at some point. We got a lot of stuff on the back burner that we do as well. So there's always new stuff coming out, and better ways of doing things and trying to work things in. And sometimes it's not easy, but we got some stuff going on that's going to be pretty exciting coming up. I asked earlier about penny stocks. Anybody trade penny stocks? I said I'm just reading here. A lot of people that were into the penny stocks, they of course lost money. I know, and anybody who is new on, you might be attracted to this thing called penny stocks. Stay away from them. Just don't even go there because you're gonna be sorry. I don't know of anybody who's doing well with penny stocks. I don't know of anybody who's actually done well with penny stocks as trading them. Just punch up Google pump and dump, then you'll know what it's all about. Penny stocks are an interesting way of manipulating the market. Guys like, well, let's say Aaron and I, right? We have a lot of people online. We could say, hey, I know this one stock. I'm loading up on it. I'm getting a lot of this stock, and here's the symbol, and here's why I think it's going to go through the roof, and here's why, and give you some kind of a line like that. And what do you think is going to happen tomorrow morning? You guys are all going to run out there and buy the stock. By you buying the stock, you're going to move the needle. You're going to move it up, and the market's going to shoot up like crazy. And then Aaron and I would be selling it at the top. We could make 5, 10, 20 times our money because you're running out there moving it up. So two things happen. Number one, you're going to say, my gosh, they were right. It has gone up. And the other thing is you're going to see that, oh, I better sell, but people are already selling it. And because Aaron and I have already sold, we're now pushing the market down. Or, you're going to get in high and sell low, and you're going to lose all your money. Just stay away from penny stock. And also it's illegal. I don't want to end up in the big house on because of that. And it's just plain wrong. It's not market stuff. I could see a playoff. Aaron's long term. Yeah. Yeah. So some people are interested in that long term, but I think maybe we're going to look at that, Aaron, and see how, put a little bit of money. Don't go putting tons and tons and tons of money in anything. Always remember money management. Number one, never, never, ever trade more than you can afford to lose because no matter how good a trade looks, no matter what, there's never any guarantees. Never, never any guarantees. So, Jason S here. Hi, Hugh and Aaron. Really like your teaching and reliable systems with over 95% winning rate. One question I have is for the other 5%, what is a typical loss? The other 5% could be, well, it could be major, it could be minor. I mean, it depends on what we do. And sometimes we repair them, we come back and, so I mean, they're all over that. That one's all over the map. But one thing we don't do is we don't let it go to zero. They never go to zero. Okay. All right. And so we want to make sure that, is there a seasonal chart for election years? I believe so. Well, there's a seasonal chart. So we have the every year the seasonal chart on that. Um, so I'm sure that'll be reflected in the chart when it comes up as 2024 unfolds here. Alan's asking if the drop was so evident, why did last week's call trades return as losers? I missed last week's review because my wife went to hospital. Sorry for that. Alan, I hope that was okay. I don't know. I mean, markets change. They tend to change. They can change on a dime. What could be, a call on one side can turn into a put very quickly. So I should tell you that near the end of last year, and Darren and I had this discussion many times. Fundamentally, it looked like it was pushing higher and higher and higher. Technically, we're hitting a very high, very strong resistance level. So we were sort of at odds with where this is going to go. And turned out we're both kind of right on that, but maybe the timing was a little off on I think we had one or maybe even two losers on the pick on Friday, or not Friday, but sometime in the last, few days before the end of the year on that one. And that was a tough one. So we don't know it. Okay, I just gotta get some more names. Chuck, Chuck, and Melvin. Okay, Melvin. Okay, we got our winners. One more, maybe? We'll give somebody else the winner as well. Write that down. Okay, Alan. We'll do 6 of these, all right? 6 people. Congratulations to Jeff P, Ali S. I think that's it. Ali S, Diane V, Chuck C, Melvin S, and Alan D. 6 people saw the yellow snow. Want to see the yellow snow? Here it is right here. This is a while back here. There it is right there. There's the yellow snow right there. There it is right there. Anyway, you saw the yellow snow. Congratulations. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the pick of the day and we'll get back to some more questions. Um, People ask about the pick of the day. We're talking about the pick of the day. Pick of the day is anchored in time. The underlying premise of this is that, look, markets move up and they move down. How prophetic, right? But what we do is Aaron and I get together every morning. We discuss which way is the propensity. Is it likely to go up today or is it likely to go down today? Is it going to go both range bound? Will it give us, and you don't need much of a move to make some serious money in the market, right? So we're saying here that right at the market open, between the market open and sometime during the day, will it go up enough to give us 6%? Will it go down enough to give us 6%? Oftentimes, it can go both ways. These are hand-picked options to trade at market open. So these are, bespoke options. We pick them. It's not just some random out of the air. Oh, I think I'll just grab this one here, and this is the one we're going to trade. No, they're picked, and then they are emailed to you at around 9:15ish. And I'm going to fix this. Emailed to you at around 9:15 in the morning, more or less, a few minutes. These are designed to earn you 6%, usually within a short period of time. So what you do at open, you wait a few seconds, get that bid-ask spread to tighten up. If the stock is going against you, wait for the turnaround, then buy at the open, immediately put it up for sale for 6%. Good till cancel order. Good till cancel order. We do that even though we want to exit the trade in a few minutes or less, sometimes in a few seconds. But just in case something should happen to your computer or your internet, or goes down, or anything can happen, you want to make sure that your order is on the market. So even if your computer, something crashes, that it's on the market until it either fills or expires. The alternative to a good till canceled is a day order, which says that it's on the market until it fills, or at the end of the day, it falls off. So if you have a computer crash and you can't get to it the next day to put that order back on the market, you could be stuck holding the bag on this option. An option is not something you want to hold on to. You want to do something with it. Reminds you as a kid, we used to have that kids game in school, hot potato, somebody throws you a ball or something, you have to get rid of it. You have to throw it to the next person. It kind of kept going around and around. And it's kind of like that. An option, you get it, you want to get rid of it right away, right? So you want to let and then just do that. So buy at the market open, immediately put it up for sale, then let the market work its magic. Now, to me, if the option drops 60% in value, I reassess the situation. That does not mean I dump it right away. I want to see, will it organically return? How much time is left? How enough time is it repairable? And if all those things don't pan out, then I let it loose. Then I'll cut it loose. For me, that's the last resort, dumping it, not the first thing. Okay. Pick of the day, folks. We're up around 96% success rate over the last year. Well worth getting into. So, pick of the day. That's what we're promoting here tonight, and that's what you should be in. Here's what it looks like. You get this email. This is the email that you get. Now, this is Friday's email. Friday's email. So you are given the code up here, an example as to how to read the code, and then all the rules are right here. Just follow the rules. Don't read into it. Don't start questioning. Don't start telling us what to do. We don't want to hear it. This is the code right here. It's in yellow. This is the SPY, January the 12th, 24 expiration. C for calls, P for puts. 466 is the strike price. That's the option you would buy at the market open. Immediately put up for sale for 6%. Come back later and you'll hopefully see the money in your account. And hopefully sooner rather than later. All right. This is a red hot deal. Let's see if we get the fire going. There we go. You cannot afford not to subscribe to this. I don't think you can. I mean, I can't. If I was on that side, I would buy 2 or 3 of these, Aaron. I would buy 2, just to make sure I get them. Make sure I don't miss any of them. $3.99 for 3 months. Really? What is that? We're talking about what? What's it? What's it? $133 a month. How many trading days? What, about 22 trading days or something like that? We're talking about $6 a day. $6. What does $6 buy you now?
I think that buys half of
Oh,
a Subway sandwich. So
half.
if they wanted to
Yeah.
get a full, if they wanted to split a foot long Subway sandwich, it might be a little bit more than the price of a pick of the day per day.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe not even. I don't know. I haven't. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I know it doesn't buy a lot. Maybe a coffee and some stuff. It might buy you that, but I don't know. It does. It's nothing. And here you get this option for $6 a day. Are you serious, folks? You should
I think
run.
it's a one large pistachio latte is what I had today at Starbucks.
There you go. That's exactly it. There you go. So you got to get that, folks. You got to get that. All right, let's look at some other questions here while we keep this up on the board. I kind of like that guy. He's kind of cute, with that look in his eyes, and he's just, yeah. Look at this red hot deal. I just can't keep the fire going on that. But all right, all right. Oh my gosh. Uh, all these. I'm gonna write some more names down here for the yellow snow. Michael M. Yes. I'm going to include you as well. Jackson I dash U 24689. Anybody else? Howard, my buddy Howard. Oh my gosh, really? We got 10 people. 10 people that are getting the ebook. Aaron, I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for these people. They say five people are going to win, and we have 10 people that are going to get the ebook. You know, That's always been my downfall. Generosity. Generosity.
Yeah, and these ebooks are not cheap. We have to order them from the printer. We have to call them up, and we have to we have to typeset them in a certain way. They print them by hand, and then they deliver them straight to your email box. So I just want to mention that as well.
We, Aaron, these ebooks, I gotta tell you, they're million sellers. They are millions. I've got a million copies in my cellar. So, oh well.
No, but they are priceless. The information in there is great, and you're also listening to a published author. Hugh has books on Amazon, so that do really well. So I say that all in good spirit and good jest.
Oh yeah. This is crazy. All right. Mary's saying here, oh yeah, dogs can hold a grudge. I never seen a lady. She said her poodle is giving her husband a hard time right now. She left or he left yesterday. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Um, Marianne, wait a second. You're not in the trading. I thought you were. I'm thinking about it though. You should be. I find that the most people in the trading room, the ones that have been there the longest, they're doing very well. And folks, I gotta tell you, we have people that regularly put in the chat box how much money they made, and they made bang, and we always hit them with a bell. Another one, another success, another success. This goes on all morning long. Sometimes it's just some of these people are just so good at it. They recognize the setup. They enter. They don't wait for all the verbiage around it. They know when this is a setup, they get right in, they make their money, they get out, they report in the results. It's actually pretty cool. Um, okay, question here. If the account was 2,000, how much did you trade and how did you scale up, or did you stay with the same number of options you had in the Okay, so here's a question concerning how we traded up the 2 to 10,000. So we started with $2,000. You can only trade up your profits, right, as you grow the account. So if the first day we made $100, then the next day you could trade up to $2,100. If the second day you made $300, then the third day you can only trade $2,400, right? So we scaled it up like that. And we're very careful, very methodical, very systematic in our approach. And we did move things around a little bit, our approach. We had safety at the beginning. We actually got a really nice cushion near the beginning. Near the end, we did take some calculated risks, and they paid off, and they were very calculated, but it worked out very, very well. So, and that's pretty cool. All right, okay. Eric S., you plan to sign up? You better be there, Eric. I've been talking to Eric, this Eric guy, for years. Things with us years ago. He's back. Good to see you here. Uh, how do you get around the day trading rules if your account doesn't have 25,000? We use a cash account. All right. If you have a margin account, you need to have 25,000 to be able to go in and out of the your trades. And I think you're given what, 3 times in a 5-day period. But if you have a cash account, you can trade as much as you want as long as you have the cash in your account. So that's how you get around the 25K rule. Also, a cash account is easier to get than a margin account, less forms to fill out and stuff. It's a little bit harder because a lot of brokers don't like to give cash accounts because they actually encourage you to get a margin account because they like to lend their money. See, brokers make their money on the commissions, but they really make most of their money on lending you the money to buy the stock. That's where they really make their money. But they like you to, to be into the stock for margin. But if you push them hard enough, they will give you a cash account. That's not a problem. So, it's the plan to trade every day the market is open. Chuck, we like to get in every day the market is open. So there's going to be some days I'm not going to trade in there. I'll tell you one day I'm not going to trade. It'll be Friday, January the 19th. That's when I'm going for my gallbladder surgery. Somebody had his wife go for, I just saw that in the comment here. So let me ask that person, how did that work out? The person that texted me here with the gallbladder, the wife with the gallbladder operation, tell me how that went, because I'm in line for that on the 19th of January. Aaron, you're gonna be at the helm on that one. Make sure the ship doesn't hit any icebergs. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah, I'll be there in the operating room, Hugh. I'll make sure that the doctor is doing a good job.
Okay, thanks for that. Appreciate it. Uh, Heaven help us. How do I get and download the tour spreadsheet? We'll give you that as you get in on that. All right. When we start that, you'll get the spreadsheet. So, okay, Howard, how can you please explain looking at the 1 minute candle at the open? Um, Explain the 1 minute candle at the open. So you're gonna have your charts, right? You're gonna have your charts, whether it's Think or Swim or Trading View, whatever it is. Uh, Go to your charts, your 1 minute chart. And now I've got mine set green is pushing up, red is pushing down, however you have it configured. And just look at that. And as you're seeing a green, pressure to the upside, that's when you would buy in. One of the questions that comes up a lot, I heard this a couple days ago too. So, well, if you're telling everybody this, and aren't they going to move the market? Is that going to make the strategy ineffective and it's going to work against us? I can assure you that SPY is oh my gosh, yeah, look at the time. Oh my Lord, so we're way over an hour. Uh, SPY is so highly traded. There are millions and millions and millions. Unless you are trading millions of contracts at the same time, the same moment, you're not going to influence the price. So don't worry about that. If everybody online was to trade at the same time, which they're not, even if they're 1 second apart, they're going to get different prices and different setups. So don't worry about that. What is the projection for 2024? I've got a projection market's going to go up and they're going to go down. I don't know when, but we're going to be there to take advantage of both directions. So, Michael, let's see, for day trade spy, are there any plans to start putting your enter, exit, stop parameters? I'm hitting a good percentage, but I have had 3 bad trades that have wiped out all my profits. Sorry to hear that. So I'm not sure when to toss the towel on them. The guideline in the memo says something can take a day or a bit more to get the 6%. So I don't know, Michael S., if you are in a trading room, get into the trading room. If you're not, get in there. That's where we talk about these things. We do not use stops per se on that. We do manage our positions, but a stop. So here's the other thing. For example, with the 6% pick of the day, sometimes the market can turn against you, where if you had a stop, it would take you out, right? So now you're mad at us because it didn't work and your stop took you out. So that's why I don't like stops. A stop will take you out a lot more than you realize. Think about this for a second. The second you get into a trade, you're in a loss. You're in a loss position. Why? Because You bought it for the bid. The ask is higher, so that spread, that 2-3 cent spread, your loss is there. You're also at a loss for commission, so there's probably another point right there. So you're probably down about 3 or 4, maybe even 5 cents the second you get the option. So you're in the loss. So, it's not hard to be in a loss. But sometimes, like I say, you have to let it breathe, let it go down, it'll come back up. That's what you're looking at. So I don't know what moon trades are. Okay, that's what the planetary thing here. Are you back into cash at the end of each trading day, Robert? The answer is that's the plan. Doesn't always happen that way, but that is the plan. Once in a while, we have to hold overnight, but our trades are designed to go over if need be. What is the difference between the pick of the day and the group and then this group in the training room every day? Okay, so question: what is the difference between the pick of the day and those people that are subscribed in the trading room? So the pick of the day is a flash assessment of the way we see the market. You buy it at the open. The trading room, we could be in there for a few minutes before we execute our first trade because we're looking at real live market environments, real live market activities that are happening. So we might not see the setup right there. And we do not discuss the pick of the day in the trading room until after the fact because we don't want to cannibalize the pick of the day. So anybody who's in the pick of the day, you're not going to get those details in the trading room until later on. So, I mean, a lot of people, they work during the day, they can't get into the trading room. That is why we have the pick of the day for those people. So there's a lot of questions here. I don't know if you had okay. Anyway, Aaron, I don't know. You have anything to add on this? Any other questions we can like? I mean, there's just like hundreds of them, maybe thousands, tens of thousands of questions. I don't know how many. There's millions of questions here.
No, we do have a lot of questions, but I think some of the questions can be answered through experience as well in the trading room. And if you are in the trading room, we can answer some of your questions live as well. And if you do have any questions that we missed, you can go ahead and reach out to us, customer service at DayTradeSPY.com. We have so many people in here tonight that it can get a little hard to answer everybody's question and still be within the time rate. But I think most of our questions tonight were for the pick of the day, as well as when people are going to get started, new subscribers and things like that. I don't know if you addressed it, but the pick of the day and the trading room is a separate subscription. We have five different services we offer now, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Pick of the day, the Day Trade Spy Signal, the trading room, the inner circle, and as well as our course that we have, which is something that's really, really recommended for people that are just getting started. Our ultimate training workshop that we did in the past summer basically talks about everything that we do here at DayTradeSPY. It goes over all of our charts, all of our chart setups, the reasons why we take trades, the reasons why we might not take a trade. And so if you're just getting started with the pick of the day or just getting started at the trading room, really recommend the Ultimate Training Workshop. It's at a deep discount from what it was at before. So I really recommend checking that out as well.
Good point. That's actually really a good point. A lot of people don't know that, but yes, we do have that training course. And the funny thing about that, Aaron, is that the IT guys were supposed to take that off the internet. They're not supposed to make that available, but I think they forgot. So really, folks, if I was you, I would go grab that for what, $9.95 or something. You get all of those courses, what, 11 videos, hour and a half long each. And I got to read this from Bill M, one of our subscribers. This is an amazing testimonial. Thank you so much for that, Bill. He says, all of your services have their own benefit and usefulness if someone is receptive to learning what you offer. I have used Pick of the Day, OMG, which is short for Out of the Morning Gate. It's a little strategy that we use. Scalp and Signal to help with my own trading plans to see what I might be missing. The extra input has been invaluable and has paid for those different services many times over with good trades beyond those very profitable services. All of your services, meetings, and communications are extremely value added. My account growth is proof of that. Thank you so much for that, Bill. Very much.
Can you answer Phil has a specific question, and he was kind of mentioned earlier. Can you talk about the good news is bad news and bad news is good news? Um, we haven't mentioned that in a while in the trading room, but for quite some time, it seemed like whenever there was negative news, the market would go up because they're looking for signs of signs for the economy slowing a little bit and not being such a strong labor market. But in reality, and all of 2023, most of the market analysts were predicting a recession. So
Yeah.
even, that was surprising as well. So when the Fed came in and just kept on raising interest rates in an effort to stop inflation and to really, help our economy, it did what it was supposed to do, and it boosted the economy all the way almost to new all-time highs, depending on the chart that you looked at, whether it was the Nasdaq or the SPY. But I don't know if you want to put your own take on that real quick, Hugh, before we wrap up.
Totally. It's a function of interest rates. And that's exactly what it is. So when the economy is chugging along really well and everything is great and the numbers are coming in better than expected and labor's booming and everything's booming, that's inflationary. The Feds don't like inflation. What do? They put the brakes on with elevated interest rates. And the stock market does not like that. So the stock market is concerned about interest rates. So when good news for the economy turns into bad news for fear that the Feds are going to raise interest rates, you see the stock generally go down. Of course, the converse is true, and that's why that is. But lately, the Feds have said, okay, we're finished with that. We're actually looking at reducing interest rates in 2024, quite possibly in January and again in March or something. So the market seems to have settled down. And now it's almost like it's saying, okay, well, good news on the economy is probably going to be good news for the stock market because we don't have that threat anymore of rising interest rates. So another quick question. I'm going to go through these questions pretty quickly. I don't want to kind of keep here, but I think what we can do is skip the options primer after this because I think there's probably not a lot. If anybody's hit the number one that they're new, if we'll check later if there is somebody, then we'll stick around a little bit for a few minutes. But here's a question here. You always recommend to enter within the first 2 minutes of the alert. What if it takes between 5 and 10 minutes? Should we still get into the trade? Well, okay, so if the stock is going against you and it's, 6, 7 minutes later before you see the turnaround, then go ahead and get it at the turnaround. Then you're probably still okay. It doesn't have to be the first 2 minutes, but when you see it turning around. But if it's going in your direction right away, get in the first 2 minutes. That's when you want to get into that. So what are you looking at for the candles to decide on a scalp trade? Terry, that's something that we're going to address in the trading room. We're not going to go into all those details as to what we're looking at into the trade site. That's not what this session is supposed to be about. These are all things that we're looking at in the trading room that we discussed, the actual strategies and whatnot. The trading room is a little over an hour, 9:20 to 10:30. We have everything going in there. Can we get the trade of the pick of the day in the trading room? Aaron said that is a separate subscription. Because some people like the pick of the day because they can't be in the trading room, and other people in the trading room. Well, I know you'd like the pick of the day, but we're not overlapping those subscriptions on that. Would not be fair to everybody. Um, I think I'm going to abstain trading on days when there's a 9 a.m. announcement, trading after the announcement. I don't think there's too many announcements at 9 a.m. I'm assuming Eastern time. Okay, Butch, how do you trade the pick trade on SPY? There's instructions on that. When you get the pick of the day email, very specific instructions on how to trade that. I think we already went over that 3 or 4 times here. And Diane's asking here, starting with $1,289. I know it's small, but I figured I could go slow and build it up. You can. Just remember, Diane, you're not going to get rich trading $1,289. You'll get some coffee money at first, but it's creating good trades that's going to be important on that. And over time, you will build that up. Okay, you're going to build that up. Um, Okay, is there going to be a trade signal different from the pick of the day, or is there going to be more trade signal? There is a signal that's sent out 3 to 5 times a week, separate from the pick of the day. Do you debit spreads? No, I don't do any spreads. I used to do spreads a long time ago, and Not interested in those anymore. Didn't make enough money to make it worthwhile. Not with the aggravation there. I don't know, Aaron, you don't do spreads, do you? Or you do spreads? I don't do spreads.
No, the only spreads that I do are peanut butter and jelly.
There you go. I agree with that. I like butter on toast too. That's good too. Michael asks, is there, if I'm already a member of the pick of the day, is there a way to upgrade, combine to join the trading room? Yes. So if you're in one service, you want to add another, or you want to combine or change or whatever, contact customer service. Customer service at DayTradeSPY. They will take care of you in that regard, okay? And by the way, I think they might have a day turnaround. So you may email them, but they may not get back to you until the next day. Don't worry, it's corporate, you know what I mean? But they will get back to you. And if you don't hear them in a reasonable time, email Aaron or myself. We'll rattle the chains a little bit on that one here. Yeah, Brian saying penny stocks, pump and dump nightmare, absolutely true. Are you using gamma exposure for your decisions? I don't use gamma. Aaron, I don't know if you use gamma. I don't use gamma. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. What broker do you
There's a
suggest?
couple of questions. If there was one question saying if you need a trading software, Thinkorswim is preferred. If you have a Thinkorswim account, and then you can trade with Thinkorswim or Tasty Trade or whoever your cheapest broker is. But we do talk about Thinkorswim quite a lot in the trading room, and then I also chart as well on TradingView. So
There's a lot of good brokers out now, and I'm not familiar with all of them. I'm familiar with Tasty Trade, which I like because the low commission structure. They cap out their commission at $10. So if you trade 100 contracts, your commission is only $10. Nothing wrong with that at all. And all right, okay, let me just add on here. Okay, Bruce S. I thought you had that ebook. I'll make sure you get that too. All right, okay. You know what? I think we're gonna call it a night here. Uh, wow. Jeff P says I'm ahead by 59,000 in the first 4 days. How you trade large balances? Congratulations. Large balances, trade more contracts. Bill, thanks. Hope your surgery goes well, recovers very fast. I had stay surgery, supposed to be good fast. We'll see. You know what Aaron, you know what I'm afraid of with this crazy surgery, and I'm still not. I'm afraid they're gonna go and they're gonna find other things, like that's their job, right? There's money in surgery. Oh, that's what I'm afraid of here.
yeah, well, I got a recent email about some of the more natural methods. That's always a possibility. An opportunity. If you do gallbladder flushes, if you do liver cleanses. We had a couple of subscribers actually when you first brought this up that talked about doing a routine gallbladder and liver flush to keep your body healthy. There's some people online, not saying that I recommend this at all, but there's some people that recommend intermittent fasting or going on a short-term water fast. There's a lot of different ways that the medical industry kind of suppresses information or even says that certain information that's natural or possibly helpful to your body can actually cause you harm because there's no pharmaceutical companies out there that are spending billions of dollars to for that research. So possibly it could be that look at all your options, and I know you're big on to alternatives and you have an alternative doctor. So, but whatever you choose, we're here to support you, Hugh.
Thanks so much. Appreciate that. Your prayers are appreciated too. Let me tell you. So, I just want to get to another couple things here before we wrap it up here. Bruce is saying he's got a lifetime membership. You can get a lifetime membership with us. And he says it's the most cost efficient. So check with customer service about getting a lifetime service. I think get everything for some price and everything forever. And it's actually pretty good. What's our email address? My email address is hugg@DayTradeSpy. So HUGHG at DayTradeSpy. Uh, so before you jump all over me on it, please go to the website, go to the FAQs. You might get your answers there. go to customer service, and only if customer service doesn't respond on a timely basis within a day, day and a half or something, then email me on that one. Not that I don't want to hear from you guys. I do. I love you all, but I'm going to tell you, with many, many, many people emailing us, you have no idea how many emails a day I get. All right. And yeah, thanks for that. Bruce, he's saying that this laparoscopic gallbladder, so that's what it's going to be. They put a couple holes or something in you. They go in and suck it out. I don't know. I don't want to know. Oh, yeah, there's lots of that. And I was thinking, I actually had a gallbladder situation 8 years ago. My naturopath got me on, like, saved it. But I had an attack in September. And I don't want to go back, and I'm so afraid of that. I have Tylenol threes literally at my arm's length at any time. Anytime I go someplace, I've got this, they're in the car, just in case anything happens. Customer service telephone number. Try this. I don't know if this is customer service. This will get you an Eagle. The number is 570-567-0426. That's Eagle's phone number, 570-567-0426. And Aaron, I think with that, we are going to call it a night. And thank you all for joining us. Thank you all.
Well, the thing to remember also is, even though the night ends, the jokes keep on coming.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Been a pleasure, folks. Thank you all. Thanks, Aaron. We'll see you tomorrow morning in the trading room. Thanks, Aaron.
Exactly. Take care.
And trust the process to keep your eyes on the prize. I can tell